ladies and gentlemen. It's JP Alexander for the Rabid Dogs Unleashed, and today I'm going to be talking about women. Well, in a roundabout way, but I saw a video on YouTube today, and it was titled, "Do Women Care About Looks as Much as Men Do?" And I think that's the easy answer is no, but it's much more complicated than that. I think the question should be, it's not the right question either. I think the right question should be, do women care about anything as much as men care about looks? And the answer is definitely. Just not the same thing. Not meaning that looks don't play a part in it, but other things play a part in it, probably even more so. Here's two things I'm going to say that a man needs. And this is just to help out all men out there. I'm 54 years old, advanced age, and I've been around the world. I've been married, I've been divorced, I've gone out with women, many dates. And here's what I found out. You need to have two things into the equation. One has to be, you have to be confident, very confident. Being extremely confident is very helpful. I'm not saying you got to be cocky and be a jerk, be conceited or anything, but you got to be confident. You got to be sure of yourself. Women love confidence. If you're not confident with yourself, a woman's not going to be confident in you, and therefore, she's not going to want anything to do with you. You need to be confident in your abilities and who you are. Okay. Second, the woman has to respect you. Now, confidence has a lot to do with it. If you're not confident in yourself, she's probably not going to respect you. But she needs to respect you. So you need to respect yourself. Like, if you don't respect yourself, a woman's not going to respect you. So you need to respect you. And if a woman is dating you and she loses respect for you, that's it. It's pretty much the beginning of the end on that one. And to get it back, it may never come back. So those are two things that needs to be part of the equation. You have to have confidence in yourself, and a woman has to have confidence in you, and she has to have respect for you. And of course, you got to respect yourself. Those are important things, very important things. Okay, now, do looks matter? Well, yeah, it depends. If you're really good looking guy, because I've only seen a few in my life who are so attractive that the women just throw themselves at him. I've only seen a few in my life that are just drop dead gorgeous men who women, and not real recently, because when you get older, how many guys my age are really that dead, that hot, It's probably some, but not as many as used to be when you were younger. So I haven't really seen a lot of those guys. I mean, women don't look at looks like we do, So, woman has to be, you got to be gorgeous, I guess, and the woman has to, there's also other things about you that bring the woman to the table, not just your appearance, for the most part. If you're a male stripper and you got 8-pack abs and, you're just an Adonis, which I've seen, again, not commonplace, but I've seen it. But, women will go for looks only to a certain point, which means they may have, sex with that guy. If they're married, they'll probably cheat on their husband with that guy. He might be the tennis instructor or something. For the most part, they might not marry that guy because, unless they get a big settlement from their ex-husband, and they might marry that guy as a boy toy, but he's probably going to have him file a prenup. So, looks really don't go as far as you would think they would. But you got to be, there's something about you, like something that you have that's makes you even more attractive. Like, who's attractive at first sight? Is it Bill Clinton a hot guy at first sight? No, but women love Bill Clinton. Why? Confident, charm, the charisma. He's just got something about him that women loved. I don't know what it was. I just know that I work for the government, and a lot of guys I know have worked among him, and they say women just melt when he gives a speech. They just, I don't know why, but they said there's just something about him, and he was well aware of that, and he probably still is, you know. So, but he's not a great, you know, he's not like a drop dead gorgeous guy, but he just had something about him. Now, what goes a long way? Status and money, of course, that goes a long way. If you're not a good looking guy and you're fat and you're ugly, but you got a lot of power and you attract and you know have a lot of money, I think that could make up for your lack of, you know. I mean, look at Harvey Weinstein. I'm not saying women were jumping over him. No, but his wife was there. His wife's gorgeous. There were women who were willing to sleep with him because he had power. I think women did go willingly. I'm not saying all the women went willingly, but enough did. He was in the business for 30 years or whatever. He was in the business for many years, giving girls parts, and you know, no one said anything. And it was almost like, well, if they're willing to do you know whatever it needs to take to get to the next level, I guess, in his casting couch or what have you. But you know, again, that's you know life, and his wife married him, right? Why? Because he's got the power. He could probably help her clothing line that she had, you know. But you know, he was a disgusting pig. But if he was a nicer guy, I think he would have really scored pretty well, you know, because he's got a lot of power. I mean, here in southern Florida, I see a lot of guys who are like, you know, I'm like, what is that guy doing with, you know, and I see the guy's girlfriend or wife, and I'm like, what is that guy doing? What is that girl doing with that? And it's pretty obvious, you know, if they're coming off, he pulls up his boat in front of the bar down here in the Intercoastal, and you know, she comes out, you know, after him, and it's pretty obvious what, you know, I mean, okay, it's not just the money, but it's what the money brings. It brings security. It brings the people he hangs out with, the party, you know, the parties, you know, the nice restaurants. It brings a whole bunch of things to the party. Again, saying the word party, but it brings a lot of things to the relationship, and that's what a lot of it means in my and is status. With status comes money, obviously. So if you're somebody like what do doctors do so well? I mean, I know a guy who's a doctor. I'm not going to mention names, and the guy had 3 wives, almost 4, and he had no problem getting women, and he was not what I consider a good-looking guy, nor was he a very interesting guy. But women love doctors; they love men in uniform. It's certain things that you know, the women just really go for, you know. And I mean, I'm on uh, Tinder, the dating site Tinder, and a lot of women don't even look at a guy like me because they can get so much better, you know. I mean, money wise, and you know, just something wise. I mean, you know, I don't think I'm ugly by any stretch of the imagination. I'm in pretty good shape for my age, and you know, I'm a nice guy. But there's other things that go further in women's mind, I guess. So it's different between men and women, obviously. I mean, if a woman's good looking enough, she can not have a job. She could be living with her mother. She could be have been in jail. You know, it's like she's gonna find a guy. I mean, not be the perfect guy, but she's gonna find a guy, and she's not gonna have really much trouble finding that guy. And if a woman's, you know, willing to go out there and just say, hey, I want, you know, I mean, if a woman goes on Tinder and she's good looking enough, even if she's average, she's gonna get a lot of responses. Me, I don't really get a lot of responses. I gotta respond to them and hope they get back to me. That's just the way dating sites are. It's not, you know, unless the guy is really that drop dead gorgeous, and even then, I don't know if I've heard that a lot of those guys are, you know, having to, you know, there's a line at the front door to go out with them. But I guess if you're good looking enough, probably, maybe. But I think it's just different from men and women. You know, if a guy's good looking enough, but he's got no job and he's an ex-con, come on, he's not gonna hook up for the long haul. No, he might hook up for a one night stand, but the women are not gonna want anything to do with him. Us, we would date a girl like that, sure. You can find a rich guy who would date a girl like that if she's good looking. I mean, I'm talking good enough, really good looking. I'm not talking about average. I'm talking really good looking. She's gonna find someone like that. There's no doubt about it in my mind. You know, a man needs to, you know, be, you know, You need to have a job. You need to have money. At least have made money and status, and a nice house and a nice car would help. And it's sad to think that's the way it is, but that is the way it is. So other things have to make up for your lack of looks, let's say. And if you have other things, if you don't have looks or money or status, I don't see you doing well. Uh, and I've seen it. I've seen a lot of those guys in those situations who are not doing that well. They might meet a girl here and there, but they're not, scoring left and right. Women are not chasing them around. But there's also something else about it. You got to be a certain kind. I mean, I've seen guys when I was younger who just did extremely well for their looks. They were not the best looking guys in the world, but they just knew how to do something that many guys lack, I guess. And a lot of it has to do with confidence and charm and the way you talk to women. And a lot of people don't have that like me. I've always been I'm an extrovert, but I'm not really. I don't know. It's kind of funny. I'm an extrovert who's not really good with people, which is funny. I'm good with some people, not really in picking up women. That's for sure. I mean, I have had my streaks, overseas, let's say, but I'm not doing well nowadays at all. But a lot of guys are, and and they could probably answer what they think women are attracted to them for. I once had this girl when I was living in Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia, which is a nice area. So we were going to this happy hour group. It was a group that we would go to happy hours every other week or so. And she was part of that group, and I liked her. And she was a few years older than me, but she was good looking for her age. And I kind of wanted to go out with her, and I gave her my phone number one night, and I said, so she texts me the next day, and she goes, let's meet in town, and we can go out to lunch. I guess she was giving me a chance. So we went to lunch, and we're having a few beers, we're having lunch, and she said to me, John, I'm a little old-fashioned in the regard that she was saying it old-fashioned, but I don't think that old-fashioned was the right term for it. I think it was something else. But she said, I really need a guy who I date to make more money than me. And I said, okay, let me ask you, how much do you make? And she goes, last year I pulled in 320,000 she pulled in. And then I said, this is going to be our last date. Because I'm not even in that ballpark. I mean, if she's playing, I mean, she's not major league. I mean, that's not Yankee Stadium or nothing. It's a minor league ballpark. But I'm playing in a sand field that doesn't even have a backstop, and the bases you got to walk 90 feet to draw them down a softball 60 feet or whatever, and draw a base down into the grass that's not getting cut. That's basically what field I'm on, and she's on a minor league ballpark. So I was gonna have a second date, and it didn't, and I saw her dating a guy who was probably closer to her age, but I don't think he was good looking as me. I don't think he was good looking as me. He was kind of a geeky guy, but he had the money. So at least she's honest about it. I can't blame her for that, But these are things. These are things you go through when you see, and I mean, if you saw that in a movie, you would blame her, but a lot of it happens in real life like that. I mean, I'm sorry to say. But then if he lacks the money and everything, then, if he's good looking enough, yeah, he can make up for that in looks. But so the answer would be, are women, is looks as important to women as men? No. But the question should be, is anything as important to women as looks are to men? And the answer is definitely. And there's a couple things. So that's me trying to help everybody out there and trying to give my my advice to everybody. Just realize things. You got to bring something to the table, something that makes you something that makes the great line. I loved it in Fast Times at Ridgemont High when I forget the guy's name. He was saying to his friend, "Here's what you do when you go on a date. When a woman, you got to act like wherever place you are, that's the place to be." This is great. I love this place. You got to act like, you're the center of attention, and the women want to be there because you're there. And it's the place to be. And he's just like, and you got to act like where you are is the place to be. The women want to be with you. It's like you got to act like It's just like, and whatever she wants to do, you gotta act like that's wonderful. I'll do that. So he's giving his advice, but it's kind of like that. You have to sell yourself, kind of like in a job interview. Like we want this guy to work here, and a woman's kind of like, I want this guy to date me. I want this guy to be in my life. I want this guy to take care of me. I want this guy to pick me up in his car. I want this guy to take me out to a dinner. I want this guy. And that's not easy. When you get older, it's not any easier either. So think about that, and that's all I got to say about that for now. And everybody, have a good evening. Catch you later.